They say the next world war won't be fought with bullets. It'll be fought with bytes. The Cold War of the 20th century was an arms race, a shadow game of missiles and spies. But now, we've entered a new battlefield, one without borders, uniforms, or rules. In this war, power is not projected by tanks, but by Trojans, logic bombs, and ransomware. This is the story of cyber warfare, the new Cold War. A global battle fought in silence, where a single line of code can paralyze nations. In 2009, Google was breached. It wasn't just Google. Dozens of American companies, defense, energy, finance, were infiltrated by a stealthy cyber attack traced back to China. It was called Operation Aurora, and it marked a turning point. It wasn't just corporate espionage. It was geopolitical sabotage, the beginning of nation-state level cyber warfare. This wasn't hacking for money. This was war for data, power, and dominance, all under the radar. 2010. A worm called Stuxnet was discovered inside Iran's nuclear facilities. It didn't steal data, it destroyed machinery. Created by the US and Israel, Stuxnet was the world's first cyber weapon to cause real-world damage. It spun uranium centrifuges out of control, while the system showed everything was normal. It was elegant, invisible, devastating. The message was clear: cyber weapons could cripple a nuclear program without firing a single shot. China doesn't just defend its cyberspace, it dominates it. With the Great Firewall, China monitors, censors, and controls internet access for over 1 billion people. But outside its borders, it's a digital predator. State-sponsored groups like APT-10 have been accused of stealing massive troves of data, from blueprints of jet engines to entire healthcare databases. For China, cyber warfare isn't just defense. It's industrial espionage. It's surveillance diplomacy. It's strategic domination. Russia's strategy is different, it's chaos. 2015, Ukraine's power grid goes dark. Not a bomb, but a keyboard. Hackers shut it down remotely, the first confirmed cyber attack to disrupt a nation's electricity. 2016, the US presidential election. Disinformation, phishing, and digital manipulation, all traced to Russian groups like Fancy Bear and Cozy Bear. Russia isn't just hacking systems. It's hacking minds. They blend cyber warfare with propaganda, trolling, and psychological ops, a hybrid war that blurs truth, fact, and fiction. North Korea lacks conventional strength, but in cyberspace, it punches above its weight. The Lazarus Group, backed by the regime, has pulled off some of the most daring cyber heists in history. 2014, Sony Pictures is attacked for producing a film mocking Kim Jong-un. 2016, $81 million stolen from Bangladesh Bank. 2017, the WannaCry ransomware cripples hospitals and businesses worldwide. Isolated and unpredictable, North Korea sees cyber warfare as its most powerful, undeniable weapon. You might think this war is between nations. But increasingly, corporations are the battleground, and sometimes the collateral damage. From Colonial Pipeline to Microsoft Exchange, cyber attacks now target critical infrastructure, energy, food supply chains, financial institutions. These aren't just breaches. They're acts of economic war. Private companies now hold national secrets, consumer trust, and the keys to digital infrastructure. But are they prepared? In many cases, no. Not all cyber warriors are state actors. Some fight for causes, not countries. Groups like Anonymous, LulzSec, and KillNet operate in the shadows, launching attacks for political protest, revenge, or moral ideology. Sometimes they align with nations. Other times they become enemies of all. In this new Cold War, there's no Geneva Convention and no clear good or evil. Just targets and motives. Hacktivism has become the third rail, unpredictable, explosive, and increasingly powerful. The US has quietly built its own digital arsenal. With US Cyber Command operating alongside the NSA, the US has developed tools to not just defend, but retaliate. Persistent engagement, they call it, always watching, always active. From disrupting ISIS communications to countering Russian influence campaigns, America's cyber strategy is evolving from passive defense to preemptive strike. But with every escalation comes risk, the risk of a cyber war going kinetic. In 2021, a ransomware attack shut down Colonial Pipeline, leading to gas shortages across the US East Coast. Panic buying, long lines, price spikes. It wasn't a military target. It was a civilian economy. From hospitals paralyzed by ransomware to children's data sold on the dark web, the victims of cyber war are not just governments or corporations, but everyday people. Unlike traditional wars, cyber war doesn't need to bomb cities to cause suffering. We are standing on a digital fault line. AI-driven malware, deepfake warfare, quantum computing. The arms race is accelerating, in code. Will treaties be formed, or will nations double down on deniable warfare? Will a single virus spark World War III? This new Cold War is invisible, constant, and spreading. It's not a question of if another major cyber war incident will occur, but when and how devastating it will be. The world is more connected than ever, and that may be its greatest vulnerability. In the silence of cyberspace, the loudest wars are fought. And we may never hear the first shot until it's too late. If you think war is only waged with weapons, think again. Because in the new age of conflict, data is the battlefield, and your mind is the prize. This is Cold Frame. Don't just stay informed, stay aware.